Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be getting into part 2 of my Kindle Unlimited recommendations. And I know y'all loved the first part of this video, so I cannot wait to share even more amazing books that are available for you on Kindle Unlimited. But before we get into the books, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Dossier. Y'all know that I love me some Dossier. So let's check out a couple of the perfumes that they send over. If you are not familiar with Dossier, they are a wonderful fragrance brand and they make perfumes just like this and colognes and gender neutral scents that smell exactly like the luxury fragrances that you've had your eye on in Sephora, but for a fraction of the price. As they say right on the box, they have iconic scents, designer quality, and no markups. So right here we have the y'all can read that. Pink pepper, and this is smelling exactly like Gucci Guilty to me. I am intimately familiar with this fragrance because it's my best friend's signature scent. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, it is inspired by Gucci Guilty, with top notes being pink pepper, lemon, and neroli. Ooh, it smells so dang good. They also sent over Ambery Vanilla, which is one of my very favorites. It smells exactly like Black Opium by YSL. I know this one is super, super popular. If you don't want to spend that hefty price tag that can come with a Gucci or YSL perfume, you got to get yourself some Dossier. Dossier perfumes have the exact same quality. They last on my skin and I always get so many compliments when I wear them. But they range between $29 and $49. And y'all, when they're having a sale, I see them as low as $19 for a luxury fragrance. You literally cannot beat that. So if you want to check out Dossier, you can use my link down below. Don't forget to use my code Haley_10 and get 10% off your Dossier order. I love them so much, and thank you so much to Dossier for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and jump into the KU Recs. So if you're not quite sure what Kindle Unlimited is, I'll give you a quick rundown before we get into the books. Kindle Unlimited is a service provided by Amazon where you pay a flat fee every month. I believe it's around $10, and you get access to an unlimited amount of their titles for free. Kindle Unlimited, okay? And you do not have to have a Kindle to use this service. I've gotten that question quite a lot. You don't have to have a Kindle. I was using Kindle Unlimited way before I got my Kindle. I just got the Kindle app on my phone, which is completely free, and got a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I can't remember whose code I use, but some book influencer always has a Kindle Unlimited code. I'm sure if you Google it, it'll come up. I don't have one. It'd be nice to have one, but I don't. And it will usually get you like 3 months free or something, so you can try it out and see if you like it. And if there's a lot of stuff on there that you find that you're liking, you're reading a lot, I think it's totally worth it to pay the monthly fee for access to all of these titles. Especially if you like indie releases like indie romance, indie horror, extreme horror, so much of that is on here. So I don't have any of these recommendations prepared today. I'm literally just going to go through and first tell you what I have downloaded on my Kindle. And then secondly, I will go through the Kindle Unlimited shelves and just call out every single book that I've read that I've given more than like a 3.5 out of 5 stars and recommend it to you guys. It's going to be spitfire, quick recommendations based on what I see first. So if you are just clicking on Kindle Unlimited, you can be like, okay, Haley said save that one, Haley said save that one, Haley said save that one, and get a bunch right in a row. So like I said, I'm gonna start with the books that I already have downloaded from Kindle Unlimited. I believe you can take out 10 at a time and download them to your actual device. So I will go through the ones that I have out right now. The first one I have is a horror novella called Hairspray and Switchblades by V. Castro. This is the same author as Goddess of Filth, which I think I had a little too high expectations for. It didn't quite end up working out for me. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't like a favorite of all time like I was hoping it would be. But I still want to try out more from this author. And here is the synopsis. It says, when Maya and Magdalena lose their parents in a home invasion, Magdalena puts her dreams on hold and turns to exotic dancing. Cash is what the sisters need to stay together and keep Maya in the elite Catholic high school that has set her on a path for athletic and academic scholarships. These sisters come from a bloodline of jaguar shifters from Mexico and have gained unwanted attention. The San Antonio stripper ripper is stalking the streets and out for a very specific kind of blood. It's steamy, bloody, and dangerous. Hairspray and switchblades. What more could a girl need to survive these streets? Oh my God, sounds like such a good little quick and dirty slasher with female main characters. I love it. I also have another horror. This one's an anthology by a female author. It's Twisted Tainted Tales by Janine Pipe. And I've never read from this author, so I'm super excited to try her out. It is her debut, and it is a bunch of splatterpunk horror stories by a female author, which y'all know I'm always wanting to discover more female authors in the horror genre. So super excited to get to that one as well. I also have Larry by Adam Millard, which is one that I read for a taste test vlog. I have yet to read the whole book, but I really liked it upon the taste test. It's like a vintage slasher moment, and the guy who's killing people is running around in a pig mask. It's just giving very classic slasher, but like self-aware. Next up, I have Places We Fear to Tread, which looks like another short story collection because there are a ton of authors. Yes, it's a horror anthology featuring 25 original stories and 1 poem. I guess I was on a horror anthology downloading kick in the past couple months because I also have Midnight in the Pentagram, which is another horror anthology by a ton of amazing authors. I also have Wolf Hunter River, which is the next book that I need to read in the Stillhouse Lake series. I believe the entire series is on Kindle Unlimited, and I absolutely loved the first 2 books, so I cannot wait to continue the series. If you like something like Pretty Girls, you're going to love this series. We're following a mom and her 2 kids as they're trying to escape the clutches of her husband / the kid's father. He was recently found out for being a serial killer. Terrifying. And now not only he is after revenge on his wife and kids who rejected him when he was exposed as a serial killer, but also the crazy people who blame the family for not knowing that he was doing this in their home is coming after them. So they have to move to this small little town called Stillhouse Lake and try to escape him and kind of like fly under the radar. It is so dark. It is so twisty, so fast paced. I absolutely love it. I also have Tribesman by Adam Caesar downloaded, and this is like a play on Cannibal Holocaust. It's kind of about the making of a cannibal horror film, and I believe it's set in the 70s or 80s, which is super fun. I have Paradise Club by Tim Meyer, which is a summary horror slasher book. I have a ton of Frida McFadden, of course. I am doing a Frida McFadden taste test this month in March, so I have a ton of her books downloaded so I can read them for that vlog. All of her entire backlist is on Kindle Unlimited. Another phenomenal author who most of her books are on Kindle Unlimited is Anya Allborn. Of course, my favorite by her is Brother, about a little boy who grows up in a cannibalistic family that's like incestual and serial killers, and it's just giving Texas Chainsaw Massacre energy. And he starts to question as he's growing up, is this the life he wants? Does he want to be an incestuous rapist, killer, cannibal? Or does he want something different for himself? I also really love Neighbors by Anya Allborn, about the creepy neighbor next door trope, and it gets super bloody at the end. I also have Phantom Limb downloaded right now, and this is by Lucinda Berry. Again, all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited. My favorites by her are The Perfect Child, about a creepy little devilish kid who is tormenting her mother. It's seriously such a dark and twisty thriller. I love it so much. Easy 5-star. And I love Saving Noah. That is probably the best book that I'm going to recommend in this video, is Saving Noah by Lucinda Berry. It's very graphic and intense, and it's about really difficult subject matter like pedophilia, but if you think that you can handle it, it has amazing mental health representation. It's one of the best books that I've ever read, and I highly recommend it. Really, I recommend all of Lucinda's backlist except for When She Returned. It's a cult book, and I'm famous for not vibing with cult books as much, so just kind of take that with a grain of salt. A.R. Torre's books are also on Kindle Unlimited. As you know, I am the biggest fan of the Girl in 6E series. This is one of my all-time favorite books. I freaking love these characters. It's about a girl who knows that she's a serial killer and she cannot let herself out of her apartment or she will go on a crazy killing spree. So she locks herself in there and she has to figure out a job to do from home. So she starts camming and she's just this murderous little cam girl. It is so campy, so over the top, so much fun, so bloody, so sexy, so everything. And I do also have one romance downloaded from Kindle Unlimited right now, and that is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. All of my friends are so obsessed with Mariana Zapata books, just like the slow burn romance vibe, and this one's about figure skating. So if I'm gonna try one out, it's probably gonna be that. I do love the Winter Olympics. I'm such a Winter Olympics girl, so I don't know. I haven't been in my romance era, so I'm not trying to jinx it, but I might get into it, who knows. So that is everything that I currently have downloaded, along with a couple just like general author recommendations on Kindle Unlimited, but I do have some specific recs. Just right off the bat, opening the Kindle Unlimited library, I see Daymares by Kenya Moss Dime, and I also see something called The Mixtape by Kenya Moss Dime, which I'm really interested in. I read Daymares a couple months ago, and it is a short horror story collection, and most of the stories have to do with creepy kids. I love it so much. There are 2 stories in here that were just like phenomenal, 5-star, instantly, cannot get them out of my head. So I highly recommend it if you're into the creepy kid content like myself. There's a ton of Anya Alborn in here, and Baby Teeth. So Baby Teeth is on Kindle Unlimited. This is so great. If you love creepy kids, this is for you. If you've read The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry already, this is my next rec for you, and that is Baby Teeth by Zoya Stage. I just read it in my last taste test that I posted on this channel. If you missed my Zoya Stage taste test, I will link it up above and down below. It's a really fun reading vlog that I did just a few days ago. But Baby Teeth follows that same trope of like a crazy little kid tormenting her mother, and we don't know if the mother is gone crazy and just has no empathy for her kid whatsoever, or if the kid is just a little demon child. And something different about Baby Teeth from something like The Push or, like I said, The Perfect Child is we actually get the perspective of the creepy kid. It's so good. I gave it 4.5 stars. Another just general author recommendation is John Athan. I absolutely have fallen in love with John Athan's writing over the past year or so. If you like extreme horror, this one is for you. And he writes some of the best gore I've ever read. It is super intense. So of course, every time I talk about extreme horror, you know, all the trigger warnings, but it is just my favorites from John Athan are The Groomer, which, as you can imagine, is pretty triggering, and very similar to The Groomer is Into the Wolves Den, but I believe that I enjoyed Into the Wolves Den a little bit more just because of the ending. I also love Lovesick by John Athan too. Also, a book that I just gave 5 stars is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. That is on Kindle Unlimited, which is so exciting. I absolutely loved this short story collection. I have not given out many 5 stars to short story collections. I think it's really hard to write like 10 banger 5-star stories all in a collection. There's bound to be one that's like a 3 or 4 star. And of course, I like to rate those books by the average of all of the stories rated individually. And Her Body and Other Parties got a 5-star for me. It's feminist speculative horror. It's super weird. It has a lot to say. It was made for me and it's phenomenal. I cannot believe that one was on KU. Oh my God, it's so good. It seems as if we're getting into some dark romance on my scrolling, so you know I have to recommend Sophie Lark. My favorite dark romance duology of all time is There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil. Yeah, I have the physical copies back there as well because I love them so much, but this is like if 50 Shades of Grey, but make them both serial killers and make it like actually kinky. Because 50 Shades of Grey is like a little tame for your average dark romance reader. Yeah, this will do it. That'll do it. Phenomenal, everything, perfect, perfection, amazing, no notes. They also have They Were Here Before Us by Eric LaRocca, and I believe A couple other Eric LaRocca titles as well. I am such a big Eric LaRocca fan. Everything he does, I will eat up. So the fact that he's on Kindle Unlimited, so amazing. Congrats to them. If you like weird speculative horror about like nature and nature taking back what they had first, this one you're gonna be obsessed with. I gave it 5 stars. It was one of my favorites of the year. Oh my gosh, I haven't read this one, but I've heard so much about it. It's called Run on Red by Noelle West Healy? I don't know, it'll be right here. But I've gotten this one recommended to me multiple times, and now that it's on KU, I'm like, girl, I've got to read it. I've got to get on that. I've heard that that final twist is just like crazy. It leaves you shook. It's like a behind her eyes moment. The Troop is on Kindle Unlimited, and I read that one, oh gosh, when did I read that? Around Halloween time, this past Halloween. Another 5-star read. It's super gross. It's about a Boy Scout troop who is going camping on this island, and this disease starts spreading throughout the island, and we see all of the crazy things that happen to them as it spreads, with a big twist ending that I was obsessed with. The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward is also on KU. I recently read this one. I gave it 4 stars. I did see the twist coming from like chapter 2 or chapter 3. Like the big reveal was just so obvious to me. But even so, I really enjoyed my reading experience. It's one of the most well-crafted and put together books. The writing is just so phenomenal, which makes me want to read a lot more by Catriona Ward. I hope there's more of her on here. And of course, another phenomenal author, and most of his books are on KU, is Stephen Graham Jones. My favorites by him are The Only Good Indians and Night of the Mannequins. I didn't love My Heart is a Chainsaw, but I'm seeing book 2, Don't Fear the Reaper, on here, and I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted to read it just because I miss his writing style so much. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby is on Kindle Unlimited, which is amazing. Another one of my favorites of 2022. It's about 2 dads whose sons were in a relationship together and they died. Everyone suspects because homophobes killed them. So this unlikely duo of dads team up to get revenge for their sons. It's so fast-paced, so action-packed. Chef's kiss, amazing. I don't know anyone who has not enjoyed Razorblade Tears. All of Jennifer Hillier's books are on KU, which is so great. I love her so much. Jar of Hearts is by far my favorite. We're following a woman who aided and abetted the murder of her best friend back in high school in the 90s, but evidence has just come up that implicated her in the crime now like 15 years later, so she's having to serve her time for it. We're flashing back and forth in current day as she's paying the price, and in the past when we're figuring out what exactly happened, and then when she's out of jail, done serving her time in present day, there's a copycat killer who's trying to get her attention yet again. You will never guess any of the twists in this book, unless you're my mom, because my mom's insane and she did guess the twist in this book. But anyway, moving on. This book is phenomenal. Easy 5 stars. It was a cultural reset. I'm obsessed with it. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney is on Kindle Unlimited. It's a super isolated, snowy thriller about a couple who's trying to revamp their marriage, bring back that spark, but there's something holding them back. And I loved the twist in this one. Alice Feeney twists are so out there. They're so far-fetched, but I just have so much fun with her books. Of course, there's a lot of Jack Ketchum on Kindle Unlimited. The Girl Next Door is like the extreme horror novel blueprint. If you like extreme horror and you haven't read this one, I recommend it, but just know it's not just like a bloody gore fest. I definitely would not call this book fun. It's very heavy, very sad, about a girl who's being held hostage in this neighborhood and is continually abused by everyone really that comes in contact with her. Another one of my favorite romances, to jump back into that. I know we're taking like a hard left from extreme horror to romance, but Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller is on Kindle Unlimited as well. It is the romance between Achilles and Patroclus, and I love Greek mythology stuff, but even if you don't, I think you will love this. The emotions just like jump off the page and squeeze your heart. I love it. Chevy Stevens is also on Kindle Unlimited now, which is super exciting. I absolutely love Never Let Me Go by Chevy Stevens. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so exciting. The Last Mrs. Parrish is on Kindle Unlimited. This is so cool. It's one of my favorite summer thrillers. If you're looking for something to read on your Kindle while you're tanning this summer, this is the one. It's about a bitch, I'm gonna steal your life story. A rich woman has this dream life, and this scrappy little nobody is gonna come up out of the woodwork and steal her husband, steal her life, and stick it to her. Or is she? It's a very twisty thriller. That halfway point twist, so good. If you like rich people drama, you're gonna eat it up. Another one of my favorites in the nonfiction genre is How to Do the Work by Nicole LaPera. If you want to know anything about how I do therapy in my practice, this book informed a lot of the base ideas that I sculpted my practice around. So if you're a mental health girly, highly, highly recommend. It's not your basic self-help book. It's actually very filled with substance. The Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz is also on KU now, which is super great. I gave this one 4 stars. It is a kind of mystery within a mystery about an author who is like the modern day Agatha Christie kind of thing. And as he's writing his last novel, he's murdered. And then somehow this transcript of his last novel shows up at his editor's doorstep, and she's having to put together the pieces of how the novel ends because he didn't get a chance to finish it, and 2, how he was murdered, which she believes is revealed within the pages of the novel. The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson is also on KU. A lot of people love this one. I give it 4 stars. It wasn't anything super special to me, but it's kind of one of those essential thriller reading books about a guy and a girl who meet on a plane and decide that they both want their spouses dead, so they're going to carry out each other's murders, kind of like Stranger on a Train vibes. Another one of my all-time favorites, No Exit by Taylor Adams, is on KU. It says it's new, recently added, and it has the audio. So that's the cool thing about some books on Kindle Unlimited. Some, you're not just reading it for free, but you can also listen along for free. They have the audiobook in the app. You cannot access it if you're reading on your Kindle, but if you're reading on the Kindle app, you can read and listen at the same time, and that is one of my favorite ways to read, so I absolutely love that. No Exit is following a girl who's driving home from college and gets stuck at a rest stop in a snowstorm. While she's there trying to get cell reception, she sees a little girl in the back of one of the vans at the rest stop, and she knows that she can't go anywhere because it's a snowstorm, so she is stuck with a child kidnapper, and she starts to take things into her own hands and figure out who has done this. I also see The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell, which is just like a classic thriller, one of my favorites. It's a popcorn thriller, you just eat them up. It's about this little British, where all of these houses face each other and there's a big garden in the middle, and everyone just kind of lets their kids play in the garden. But one day a child is murdered in the garden, and they're trying to figure out who did it, because there's not a lot of parental supervision out there. They just let their kids run wild and free. So somebody took advantage of that and murdered a kid. Okay, sorry for the break. My Kindle died, so I had to go charge it. But now we're going to resume the hunt. The next one that I see here is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is a thriller with a romance subplot. So this is for fans of Jennifer Hillier, A.R. Torre, My Queens. And they're investigating the evils of gentrification, but not just the real world ones, the creepy ones. Also, Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey is on here if you're wanting to give Tessa Bailey a try with low risk. If you're usually a thriller girly, but you hear me recommending Tessa Bailey and you want to check her out, Too Hot to Handle, one of her newer releases, and the first book in one of her 4-book series, is now on KU. All of Geneva Rose's books are on there. So One of Us is Dead, super twisty, drama-filled mommy drama, suburban rich people drama. It's in this book, one lady ends up dead and the rest of the catty friend group is kind of like the suspect pool. Layla by Colleen Hoover is on here, and they also have the audio for that one. It's a paranormal romance, but it is so much more than that. It is so weird, and it's one of the Colleen Hoover books that I don't feel like reads like a Colleen Hoover book. I love it so much. The entire Before the Coffee Gets Cold series is on here as well. That is like my new favorite series of this year. I read it to kick off my 2023 and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It has tons of magical realism. It's about this cafe where you can sit in this one specific seat and go back in time. So the whole series is just a bunch of vignettes of different people going back in time and what they do, what they kind of like want to go back and address. It's so emotional, and God, I just love it. True Crime is on here, and it's a little tiny short horror novella about a girl who heard her brother start their murder spree by killing their mother and then going on this whole long spree. And it's about this fucked up little girl and why she wants to kill so much. It's super gory, super extreme, dark, gritty, 5 stars from me. And Dear Laura is another 5-star horror novella on KU about a woman whose boyfriend was killed, and years and years later she is still thinking that she can catch his killer because he has been preying on this little girl's puppy love for him and sending her little Dear Laura letters. So now, as she's an adult, she is going to figure out who this guy is and possibly uncover the remains of her boyfriend. If you're a real gross out extreme horror lover, Cows by Matthew Sticco is on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm not going to recommend it because I've recommended it in the past and people have gotten mad at me and been traumatized, but if you want to try your luck, there's Cows. It was a 3.5 for me, and I even feel weird giving it that. The Slaughter series by Sergio Gomez, and I believe all of Sergio Gomez's books are on Kindle Unlimited, but Camp Slaughter, that is a slump killer. If you're trying to get out of a reading slump, you gotta read Camp Slaughter. It is such a good little quick and dirty slasher. We are following our villain Varias Caras, who is this masked cannibal, and he's so scary, but also like you have a little bit of empathy for him because he has some trauma and you like understand his motivation for killing. It's just so well written, so well thought out. Absolutely love Sergio Gomez. All of Judith Sonnet's books are now on KU as well. So if you've heard me constantly recommending Judith Sonnet books and you're wanting to get into extreme horror written by a queer woman, we love to see it. All of her books are on there. I love No One Rides for Free, and for the sake of that entire what will be a trilogy is going to be so phenomenal. So highly recommend her books as always. And I think we're gonna stop it there. I mean, there are so many amazing authors available on Kindle Unlimited and just great standout indie books, but now pretty popular like traditionally published books are available on KU as well. So I hope you enjoyed going through the Kindle Unlimited library and getting some quick rapid fire recs from me. Let me know if there's anything on Kindle Unlimited that I need to prioritize, that I need to read. Let me know if you would want a Kindle Unlimited vlog from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Dossier down below and get you some good luxury fragrance at a reasonable price. Like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!